Clue 3, the gusset. This begins with color A, which is the same color that we used for the cast-on of our sock. Same color as that coral. And we're going to begin with the live stitches, half of the leg stitches from the needles that are on your spare needle or DPNs here. So just leave those stitches from the heel turn on a needle, and we'll be working with these. So get those onto a needle if they're not. Using a knit all of those stitches. Knit 24 or knit 30, 36 or 42 depending on your size. Once you have all of those stitches knitted from half of the leg, place a stitch marker. If you're working with magic loop method, you can place it on your needle. If you're working with DPNs, it's going to fall off your needle there, so just place it into the fabric, and that will help mark our gusset decreases later. And with DPNs, I'm going to use a new needle to pick up stitches along the right selvage of the heel flap. Pick up and knit 12, 15, 18, or 21 stitches along the right edge of the heel flap. I'm going to go through both legs of a selvage stitch, starting into the first color A selvage, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should get one stitch into each selvage stitch. These are 6 more stitches from the next short row for 12 total, and now 6 more for 18 stitches for size 3. But if you have size 2, you'll just be getting 5 stitches from each color, or 4 stitches from each color for size 1. And there we go. I have 18 stitches for size 3, 1 stitch into each selvage. Knit 14, 18, 20, or 24. Basically just knit all of the live stitches. If for any reason your numbers aren't matching up at any time during this pickup, just sneak in an extra make 1 increase, or sneak in a knit 2 together anywhere to make sure you get the same numbers. I'm knitting 20 stitches for size 3. Knit all of your heel turn stitches. Alrighty, it's getting to be quite a bit of stitches on this double pointed needle, so I'm gonna put 10 of my stitches onto another needle. I'm just gonna slip 10 stitches or so onto this spare needle. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There we go. So just in the middle of the heel, of those heel stitches, you can just knit to the middle of the heel, and then you could use another needle to knit the rest of the heel stitches, or just put them on another needle. And this is just gonna make sure that they don't get too close to your needle tips. So I'm gonna be working with 4 needles now to finish picking up stitches along the left selvage. 1, 2, I'm getting 6 stitches into each color. Size 2, you're just going to get 5 stitches into each color block. Size 1 will only be 4 stitches into each of these colors. Okay, going into the next color, picking up stitches all the way along this edge. Now I have 12 for size 3, 13, 14, and 18 stitches for size 3. Size 2, you just need 15. Size 1, just 12. All right, we're at the beginning of the round. Place a marker to mark the beginning of the round. I'm going to place a marker into the fabric here, and this blue marker will be my beginning of round. And I've got stitches pretty equally onto 4 needles, and I'll use my 5th needle for DPNs. If you have a magic loop, then you might have the loop sticking out somewhere for the magic loop method. All right, I have 92 total stitches for size 3, but check your stitch count and make sure it matches. You need 62, 78, 92, or 108 stitches. Knit to the marker. When you reach the stitch marker, if it's just in your fabric, you don't need to slip the marker. Just keep it in place to mark this gap between the needles. So this is the location where we knit to marker. If you're working with the magic loop method, then you can slip the marker onto your right needle. After the marker, we're going to purl 3 for a little garter stitch detail. 1, 2, 3. Knit. This is round 2. Knit to 3 stitches before marker. When you are 3 stitches before the next marker, which is the beginning of round marker, also purl 3 for another little garter stitch detail. And we're going to work more in the round, knitting in the round with color A. Round 3, this will be a decrease round for our gusset decreases. But knit until you reach the marker, knit to marker. This is the top foot of the fabric. So the first bunch of stitches will be the top, become the top foot, and then the ones coming from your heel flap will be the side gusset and the bottom of the foot. Round 3, knit to marker. When you reach that marker, just leave it in place for DPNs, or you can slip it onto your needle for the magic loop method. When you're at the marker, knit 3, slip, slip, knit. Slip knitwise, knit 2 together through the back. This is going to be the same slip, slip, knit location for all of the gusset decreases on this location of the sock. Knit to 5 stitches before marker, or 5 stitches before the end of the round marker. When you are 5 stitches before the end of the round, knit 2 together, knit 3, and slip the marker, or just leave the marker placed if you're knitting with DPNs. Continue working these gusset rows. Every other row on the even numbered rows, like row 4 that we're about to knit, or row 6 and 8, will have the purl 3 stitches at the end of the round. And the purl 3 will also be over here, coming from that heel flap. And that's going to make a nice little detail in garter stitch. I'm just going to show you a little peek at some of the textures that are coming up. So we have the leg, and then right now we're doing this, we'll be doing some bubbles, and the garter stitch is a little detail right here. So keep on following the rows closely, and the colors and stitch patterns. There's going to be some really nice little textures to try and that garter stitch will be flowing next to the decreases. Do you see that decrease line in the gusset there? And on the other side, there's that other decrease line right there. Keep on going for the gusset decreases. I just finished rounds 1 through 6, and round 7 is going to be a little different depending on your size choice. So sizes 1 and 3 I'm going to show right now, but the bubble technique is the exact same. So we're going to do the same bubble stitch to remember as up here with color B. We're going to knit into 4 rounds below to make that bubble texture. So for sizes 1 and 3, begin by knitting 2. All of the sizes actually begin like this. Knit 2, knit 1 into the stitch from 4 rounds below. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dive into the middle of the stitch from 4 rounds below. Drop the stitch and the strands will come down. Pull it tight. Knit 1. Repeat that to the marker for sizes 1 and 3, or repeat that to 2 stitches before the marker for sizes 2 and 4. Knit 2. Knit into the stitch from 4 rounds below, pull the yarn through, drop the stitch, and take the little ladders out as it drops down for the bubble technique. You can pull on that stitch tight, knit 1 more, and repeat. Knit 2, knit into the stitch from 4 rounds below, drop that stitch off the needle and pull each stitch out until it comes down to where you knitted. Knit 1. So keep on going with the bubble technique and follow the decreases closely. You'll be doing a slip, slip, knit decrease over here, and you'll be doing a knit 2 together when you reach the end of the round right here. So follow all of the instructions and color changes closely, and then you'll be achieving some beautiful bubble stitches like this, some reverse stockinette, some stockinette stitch, and some other stripes. So keep on following the pattern closely, and I'll see you towards the end of clue 3. This is the completed clue 3 of the sock with our leg, heel flap, heel turn, the gusset decreases. There's that nice knit 2 together gusset decrease. And this is what the slip, slip, knit gusset decrease. This results in a smaller stitch count, which should be a stitch count same as the leg. And if you want to adjust the shaping of your foot, like maybe you have a smaller instep, you could decrease more stitches in this stockinette stitch section if you want to make a little bit smaller circumference like that. And that's fine to do to customize the size. And break colors D and E at the end of clue 3. And we have the bubble, these garter ridges, simple knit purl textures, this broken ribbing section, a little eyelet texture, more reverse stockinette ridges, and this fun slip stitch. So at this point, if you have a smaller foot, you might be getting ready for the toe, but wait till clue 4 for the final stitch patterns in the toe. So this is what we've got so far for clue 3. Beautiful sock. So share your progress, and I can't wait to see how your color combos are coming to life.